Hi guys, Megan here, the Healing Foods Coach. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. This is kind of a random day, I thought, to make video content and share with you guys. So it's Thursday. It is the 5th of June. It is just after 5 p.m. here in Colchester, England. I'm just home recently from work, and I was just thinking to myself, I didn't want to wait until Saturday for my usual uploads, although I will hopefully have more content for you then. But I wanted to just make a video and let you guys know that I'm still thinking about you. And for me, people who can make daily content and have really deep, science-backed, meaningful content and have the time and the energy to do that, I have full respect for them. Full respect, full props for them. Honestly speaking, work has been really crazy busy. I'm enjoying it overall. It's great to be able to get into work, but my days feel long. And even though I'm only a 10-minute walk from the house, well, 12 minutes, when I work a shift, so every third week I work 9 to 4. And when I do, I'm done, of course, a bit earlier, but then that just means I have time in the early afternoon, evening to get other errands done, which is what I've been doing this week. But outside of that, the days can feel quite hectic and busy. We have a lot of customers calling inbound. We have a lot of calls to make outbound. So my day is full. And sometimes, I don't know about you guys, if you've ever felt like there was something you always wanted to do, but then life kind of happened. And what I mean by that is this. I thought, maybe foolishly, that a year ago now, I would have had my job would have been full-time working as a nutrition coach, helping people for money. Now, let me just say that I still offer advice. And of course, if you ever have questions or comments, I always respond if you leave them down below, or if you happen to reach out and email me at thehealingfoodscoach@gmail.com, I will respond to you as well. But I also understand we're going through a bit of an economic challenging time right now, not just in England, but around the world. And so a lot of times people just don't have that kind of extra money. I get that. Okay. So as much as I thought I would be something a bit different with my life than working in an inbound call center for an insurance company, that's where I am at the moment. And most days I feel great about it and I'm thankful. I have a job. And I'm actually able to get back into work full time, which after my health history, I didn't know if that was ever good. I didn't think that would ever be the case. So I know I have a lot to be thankful for, and I am. And I guess part of me sometimes feels like, should I make comments? I mean, surely you guys are sick and tired of hearing me share the same things all the time. What's the point? And then I realized, you know what, if at least one other person out there can hear my story, and that helps them be inspired to start making changes to their diet so they can hopefully improve their health and well-being, then it's well worth it. Something I try to do regularly is think of the kind of key big moments in my life that I'm most grateful for, because it helps me. So basically, if you didn't know, I have struggled in the past with severe crippling anxiety. I've struggled with depression, full-blown eating disorder. I was bulimic for over 30 years. I also was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in 2015 after a spinal disc injury. What you're seeing in the background, that's an image of my electric power wheelchair that I used for several years. And before that, I was on crutches or in a manual wheelchair that I was pushed around in because my mobility was significantly reduced following my spinal disc injury and then the fibromyalgia. Okay, so that's where I used to be. And you can see that in my photo kind of up in the corner there. On the left, that's me in my wheelchair. I think that was around May of 2021 versus August of last year, 2024. Didn't happen overnight. I didn't one day wake up in June of 2020 and decide I'm going to start carnivore, and then within a day or two everything was fixed. Didn't work like that. I started keto in June of 2020, so 5 years ago. I realized after a week or two that I had to get rid of all of the rest of the plant materials and start cutting out a lot of dairy. Well, now I completely get rid of dairy, but and so I had to go carnivore because of my gut issues, my IBS, constant bloating, constipation, all the painful, horrible things that go with all of that. I had to get rid of all the plant stuff. Okay, so I couldn't do keto. Many people go keto and include low carb fruits and vegetables and some full fat dairy, and they do fantastically. And if that works, absolutely awesome, do it. I personally couldn't. Okay, so again, just speaking from my own personal experience, I am not saying keto is bad in any way. It's not. It has helped many people get healthy. Okay, but for me, because of my significant gut and food intolerance and IBS issues, I had to remove all the plants. So that being said, but even then, it wasn't as if I suddenly woke up one day a few weeks in and all of a sudden all the weight was gone and all the pain was gone and all the issues were gone. It didn't work like that. It took time. Within the first few weeks to a month, I started to notice I didn't have as much brain fog. Within 6 months, I had lost 100 pounds, which is 45 kilos for those of you who are metric, which was amazing. I've never lost that much weight ever in my entire life, even being bulimic. Okay, so that was huge. But it took another 3 years before I realized, before the inflammation came down enough and the pain came down enough that I could start coming off of my pain medications. I have been pain medication free since May of 2023. And since October of 2023, I've not needed to use my wheelchair or crutches or anything like that at all. At all. And that's been amazing. So it's been a very long journey. So that being said, I'm still human. I still have insecurities. I still feel like, oh, but maybe I should be at the gym 3 times a week and I should be this much thinner or that much more toned, or I should be doing workouts with weights, or because, lots of people do that. And that's amazing. There are lots of people, great people in this carnivore space and in the keto low carb space who go to the gym, work out with weights, whether it's free weights or machines, whatever, to build muscle mass and bone density. And that's a good thing. I don't. And a big reason for me is I also have SI joint dysfunction. So the sacroiliac joint at the bottom of the spine, for me, is chronically inflamed. Probably a result of a couple of things, numerous falls and accidents growing up as a kid in Canada, falling in the snow and ice. Could be a result of the spinal disc injury that I did suffer back in 2014 that might have made it worse. Hard to say. Okay, it could be a whole bunch of things. But the reality is that because of that, I have to avoid, I've been told to avoid weightlifting and weight-bearing exercises because it just keeps putting strain on that part of my spine and then keeps it feeling chronically sore. So I don't do those things. And part of me feels like guilty because of it, which is crazy. I know. But there we are. But the reason why I made this video, because like I said, I was feeling like, do you guys really want to hear from me? I mean, life is just chugging along. Life is just life. But then maybe that's the whole point. We need to share with each other life as it happens. And maybe I'm not this super, well-known coaching guru, and don't know that that's meant to be my calling either. But when I stop to think of all the things I do have that I am grateful for and that I do need to be grateful for, didn't really seem all that important. So, going back to that list, I think of all the things I consider blessings that I'm so grateful for. I think of the day I became a Christian in 1933. It's 1993. Wow. Then I'd look super great for my age in that case. No, 1993. The day I got married. Each of my sons were born. The day that I found a way, because there was a long stretch, there was 17 years of time where God was not my priority. I wasn't focused on him at all, or church or anything like that. And for me, that became very detrimental. But that was when I noticed that my anxiety suffered the most was during those years. So following Going Carnivore, and being able to get my brain back and my mind back, I was also able to recommit my faith to God, which for me felt amazing. So not that he was ever away from me, he was always there, but I took time to actually acknowledge the fact that he was there, if that makes sense. I sort of reaffirmed my commitment to him, and that's been amazing. And of course, my son decided to be, my older son became a Christian a couple of years ago, which was very exciting. So these are all great moments in my life, but there's more than just that. Okay. I was able to, after almost 9 years of needing a wheelchair of some kind or being on crutches, I finally got to walk on my own strength as of October 2023. So almost 2 years ago, so a year and a half, we'll say, I've not needed any sort of support for walking around. I can actually do several miles and feel great about it, you know. After feeling like I might never, ever be able to go back and work at all, I now work full time. I get to have those moments of, oh, I can't believe there's so many calls holding. I can't believe they're so busy, and waiting for my holidays, like everyone does in the workforce. We have those moments, but realizing that ultimately I'm really, really, really thankful to be able to work. And sometimes life does not end up the way we expect it to, but in my experience, it does always end up as it's supposed to, as it's meant to. There's, things happen for a reason. And there's a reason why people say that, because I personally think it's true. So why am I sharing that? Because my hope is that it's something, as far as trying the carnivore diet, is it worth it? Yes. A wholeheartedly resounding yes. Is it easy? Is it simple? It is. Is it easy? Definitely not. Why? Because all of the things, all the favorite snacks and junk that we enjoy, that let's be honest, most of us are addicted to, we don't want to give up because we like it. If we didn't like it, we wouldn't eat this stuff. Makes sense. We often turn to food for coping, whether it's emotional stress, whether it's celebrating something, whether it's trying to deal with anger or sorrow. Food becomes a misplaced conduit of how we try to deal with emotions. At least that was the case for me. Okay, not everyone is like that. I get that, but for a lot of us, that's why we turn to food. So is that hard to break? Yes. Is it hard to give up? Yes. Is it impossible? No. And is it worth it? Absolutely. For me, like I said, my fibromyalgia symptoms are gone. My chronic pain, as a result of the fibromyalgia, is gone. I do suffer with aches and pains in my lower back just because I have SI joint dysfunction. But once I get up and I stretch in the morning, it dissipates, it settles down. Okay. We will, just because I'm carnivore, by the way, it doesn't mean I'm never going to get sick either. I still get sick sometimes. Not a lot, not often, and not usually for very long, but it does happen. I was off sick for 4 days a few months ago with laryngitis. So we can still get sick. We can still get injured. We can still have things happen. But having a clear mind and knowing that my gut is healthy, knowing that I'm nourishing my body, makes everything easier to deal with, if that makes any sense. So is it a simple thing to follow? Yes. Is it easy? No. But is it worth it? Absolutely. And I'm speaking from carnivore because that's what works for me. But the same could be said whether you decide to follow low carb or keto. Are they to change from a standard Western highly processed diet is not easy for anybody, regardless of what you're changing to. It's not easy. It's hard to give up our favorite junk food and treats and so on. Of course it is. They're designed to be addictive. Is it worth it though to get back our health? Absolutely. So I hope that's helpful. As I say, that's why I'm doing this. So if this helps you in any way, or if you think this might help other people that you know, please feel free to share this video. I do plan to have more content uploaded over the weekend. It just felt to me in the moment like, hey, you know what? Here's what I'm feeling. Maybe I'm not the only person out there. I hope this is helpful. So for those of you who might be wondering, I know there's a little bit of red here. So let me just clarify. That is not because I'm carnivore. That is rosacea that I've had since I was a child. And as I've just been through menopause and my hormones are just starting to rebalance, they have flared up my rosacea for the past year or so. But it is actually getting better. I've had it far worse. I've had moments where it's been far worse when I was not on carnivore, just saying. So again, sometimes we still have conditions we have to live with, even if we are going on a carnivore diet. Doesn't mean we get rid of everything completely, just as a disclaimer. Other than that, guys, please, please, please share with me your comments. Let me know how you're doing. If you're interested at all in starting a carnivore, or keto, or even low carb approach, feel free to reach out if you want some ideas or you need help getting started. Leave comments in the video down below, or if you're interested in more one-to-one coaching session, I do have time available in the evenings and weekends at the moment. So get in touch. thehealingfoodscoach@gmail.com is my email. So feel free to reach out if you're interested, or if you just have general questions, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for paying attention and watching this video, and I hope it helps. And please do share it with anybody else you think could potentially benefit. Thanks for everything. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.